Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Namsnoodle podcast. Now, I've done these before, but it's been a while since I've have done one of these. It's probably been about almost a year, maybe give or take. But I just want to, get my feet wet again, get back into it, just talk about things that are going on in the news, going on in my life, things that people that they can relate to as well, and hopefully just help others along the way and through this process. We'll just start lately through my own life. I struggle with anxiety and depression, and I do take medication for it. And sometimes there's a stigma. There's always been a stigma surrounding mental illness, because because you look at someone a lot and oh, there's nothing wrong with them because you don't see any physical impairments, uh, things that would prevent them from being able to function physically. You say, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with that person," but when you have that mental inside your head, you're putting the person is putting on a mask and trying to put on a show that like, oh, everything's fine, but when reality, everything's not okay in their head. It's their own mind. They themselves are their own worst enemy, and sometimes they can, and it prevents them from functioning in their daily lives the way they would like to. Getting out of bed can just be a hassle. Uh, Thinking positively, it's an almost impossible thought because you're constantly draining yourself, just thinking negative thoughts all the time. And I go through these spurts of where I'm down in the dumps. I have no ambition, and it just sucks. It flat out sucks. But the best approach is, you're not going to tackle everything all at once. You're going to have to take it one day at a time, one step at a time, little by little. It can get better, and I know that's a cliche, but it can. And I tell myself that as well all the time. It can get better. And think of it like this way too. Um, if and when you do reach rock bottom, the only way to go is up, because you can't go any lower. So I mean, there is some hopeful, light at the end of the tunnel whenever you feel like that. The things that I've been doing lately to control and manage my anxiety is staying active. I've been lifting again, going out with friends, uh, being productive in at work, outside of work, just keeping myself busy. That way, because when I'm just sitting around doing nothing, my mind starts to wander, and when my mind starts to wander, that's when it's dangerous, because then I start thinking of like unrealistic things that probably won't happen, or that haven't even happened yet, that I don't even need to worry about. You worry about it when that situation comes. You try to take it. You know, you go with the flow approach, and you go where the tide takes you. As I said to a friend, because I mean, I'm having actually positive things going for me, and I'm in a dilemma, a good dilemma, but and that's what I said to her. I'll see where the tide takes me. But that's been how I've lately been trying to control and manage my anxiety better. And one of the scarier side effects from when I did not take my medication for my anxiety, I started having heart palpitations, and I felt like my heart was going to rip through my chest. And it was, oh my gosh. And then when I finally took my medication, I felt better and was able to, cope. But it was miserable and terrible. Um, so I mean, I am a big component, a big advocate, or like to be a bigger advocate anyway, for mental health and mental health issues, because I think it's still way in the dark, that it's not talked about as much as it should be, and it really needs to be addressed more than what it has been, or because like I said, it's something that people don't see, because a lot of time, it's that seeing is believing type, that saying, and if you don't see something, you really can't make judgment, I guess. And a lot of times when people have these mental illness problems, they really don't like to talk about it. And sometimes, like, it feels like maybe talking about it makes things worse because then they start even thinking about it more. Um, it's weird how the mind works like that. Sometimes, like, the best approach is not thinking about it at all. Uh, but it's always good though to reach out to someone. If you ever get to a situation where you feel like you're at your last straw, then you need to reach out to someone or get some help. But I mean, it's always good though, like just taking it day by day, step by step. Uh, approach it, approach it cautious. Approach every day cautiously. Be careful. It's everything will turn out fine. And I'm in a better you know better mental state of mind as it is right now. So I'm able to, this is good that I'm able to uh tell people this who also is going through similar things, that go through these things day to day. Um, my anxiety can cause my depression to go up, and excuse me. And then I just get down on myself. I feel worthless. I feel like I'm not wanted, and it's really hard too when you have family that's like really far away, hundreds and hundreds of miles away. It does make it harder because I mean sometimes you just want to be by your family when you're going through any situation, whatever it is, and you just want to be there with them, but you can't because of the physical distance, and that does make it harder. But being able to, I mean, that's one good thing about social media and phones still, but social media, you're still able to keep contact with your family members through that way. So that is one good thing about social media because I think uh, technology, as for its many pros, there are a lot of cons to it. I think it's made our generation more lazy, and it probably does. I wouldn't be surprised if technology does increase depression and or anxiety because we're not out there socializing with our peers as much. We're constantly on our phones or iPads or tablets as a way of you know entertainment, as opposed to what our parents, how they grew up. They would play outside uh from sunrise to sun, sunrise to sun, the sun going down. But that's just my little take about what's been going on with me lately regarding, where I'm at, where my mental state of mind is. I'm improving. I'm working to get better every day, one day at a time. I try to become a better person than the day I was before. One thing I still haven't really honed in on is what are my future goals. I know I want to be better than what I am. I want to have a better job than what I have now, which is something I'm doing, getting in the process of doing. Uh, what I want to make of it, though, I am not sure. And that's kind of, I'm getting to an age where I might want to start really considering, you know, finding stability in my life, making a career out of something. I'm I'm 3 years shy of being 30, but I mean, I'm not all that old yet. So I mean, I'm not. I don't need a cane or anything like that. I'm not in that stage. But I mean, you get to an age where it's like, okay, I gotta saddle up here and need to start looking at my life choices, what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna provide for myself, and that could be hard as well. But this is just my latest podcast I just wanted to do. Feel free to share this, and if you have any, if you also suffer from mental illness, feel free to leave your comments in the comment section below. I'll be uploading this to my YouTube channel. Also, I want to give a plug to lionsofliberty.com. They are also a podcast, social media outlet, a news site organization. That's again Lions of Liberty. I will leave a link to their Twitter and their Facebook page. You can check them out and give them a listen as well. So with that said, as always, I'm Nam, and always use your noodle.